How's everyone doing? It's Grant with the Garden of Eater, and in this video I thought we'd go over everything crystal shrimp. These are what they call the candy canes, the bee shrimp, crystals, crystal reds, crystal blacks. This is the basic crystal shrimp. Now, I say basic because you've got both colors, red and black. You could possibly also get some full whites or snow whites or golden bees. So you never really know if you're going to get red or black. Black being the dominant gene, red is recessive. It's very easy to separate these guys out and get them into their own colonies with breeding very few, minimum of the opposite color, by just selecting over a few generations. The grade on these guys is kind of like A C grade. Definitely no S grade in here. That one's shell's kind of nice, but pattern is still A grade. With the crystal shrimp, you can grade them off of pattern or off of overall grade, which would be thickness of shell and color and overall coverage, no transparency, all the way down to the legs. Generally speaking, A grade's lower grade, and then the more S's they have, the higher grade the shrimp will be. Now, these are a softwater dwarf shrimp. Freshwater, they like a pH around 6. They can handle all the way down to the low 5s, but anything over 6.5, it's kind of a little bit too high. I tried these guys out when I first got them in neoparameters with like a 7.2 pH, 8 GH, and like a 3 or 4 KH, and I was able to get them buried, but I was never successful in growing up any of the babies. Like you can see now, tons of little guys running around. Very easy if you guys just use the right kind of soil and the right water to get these guys to breed. But if you want to go the route with tap water and stuff like that, it's just not a lot of people have a lot of success with it, and not for very long. And they're not breeding very, very fast, that's for sure. Now we can drop down another tank. Now these are all crystal blacks. This is just over selection. Actually the main female above the red one, that was out of this colony. It's like the only red I ever really got from these guys. So I know they're not pure crystal blacks. They're just regular old crystals. But they produce like rabbits. Sold a bunch of these last month. See some babies growing up. And usually the females are constantly buried. I think there might be some eggs on that one right there. But this time of the year they kind of slow down for maybe a month or two, maybe the end of December, and they'll start picking back up at the end of February. So not too finicky. Very, very easy. A great beginner shrimp. And then we'll go over the pure crystals now. So these are our pure crystal reds. I started off with like 5 or 6 different lines now. I selected the best out of every colony that I received. Probably like the only best 2 or 3 depending on the line that I got. And then started quickly selecting and breeding and reproducing. And this is at 7 generations of work right here. And then like I said before, like this one would be right in the middle. Would be like S pattern grade, but I would say more like an A grade because of the thickness of shell isn't quite there. Doesn't really have any color on the legs. I went for pattern with this, with the pure RLs first. Now I'm very slowly working on the thickness of color. I'll cull this one with the translucent and this one there very, very soon. and just start working on the thickness of shell and leg color now that the colony is producing relatively just Misuras. I got like this guy right there that has a couple red markings on the back of the body, but for the most part they are Misura pattern. So still a lot of work to be done on these guys, but I'll talk about why they're pure red crystals and not just crystal red shrimp. They will never produce any whites or blacks. So every single shrimp baby that comes out will be a pure crystal red shrimp. They will have, just like this baby right there, red and white only on them. Not just white, not just red, but red and white. Every single baby. Now, it's a little bit unsure whether that it's from wild type shrimp where they took the red from the brown wild crystals and then took the black and then went in their own line. Some say that it's from the pure crystal reds that were never bred with black pigment. The others all say that they were just selective bred for very, very many generations until they only bred red and white shrimp. How many generations, nobody really knows. It's not really out there information, so it's more to be believed that it was from the wild type shrimp, selective bred just for red or just for black to get the pure red or pure black line. And then the pure whites are supposed to be just pure reds that were bred, selective bred for so much white, such little red on the Misuras that eventually the red was almost nothing till it was nothing, and then they called them the pure white lines. So same care as the other shrimp, low pH, no KH in the water, and these guys are really super easy to breed as long as you got your water chemistry down. And then when you cross a crystal shrimp with a Taiwan bee, they still look the same, but now we get into the Michelins, and we'll go to them now. And these are the Michelins. It looks just like a Misura crystal black. They can look just like crystal blacks. They can be snow whites or golden bees, crystal reds. It doesn't matter. It can look like any kind of crystal shrimp. What makes it a Michelin is that it has Taiwan bee genes. Now I'll cover what exactly a Taiwan bee is in another video, but for now it's the blue bolts, the shadow pandas. You also have the red King Kongs, black King Kongs, etc. Basically it's just a double pigment caridina shrimp. It's still a bee shrimp. It's like a mutation from a golden bee to get the blue color, but it's kind of a harder shrimp. You definitely have to have your parameters on point. That's why I love these guys as starters, because you know, if you got your water chemistry down, you'll definitely be able to get some of these crystal shrimp babies and stuff like that. But if your water is perfect and everything is on point, you'll end up getting some of the Taiwan bees, and then that's a good indicator that you're ready for the next level. You can spend a little bit more money to invest, because some of these blue bolts, they can get anywhere from $10 to $50 each, depending on high quality you want or what line you get them from. So starting off with these $4 Michelins is a great investment, and if you know you're doing everything right, you end up getting some more expensive shrimp. Like the shadow pandas are anywhere from $10 to $15 each. So these are great starters. You know, if you're doing everything right, you're gonna get a mix of all these shrimp right here. So and a lot more colors too. I'm kind of selective breeding these to be black for the most part. There is some reds in there, but it's just a great starter shrimp. And we got to finish it off with the pure red crystals. Again, these won't produce any blacks. They don't have any Taiwan bee genes, so they're not Michelins. These are just our pure crystal line. Great shrimp. Can't hate on them. They're the true OGs of the hobby. Everybody loves these, especially around Christmas time. And you just can't help but love a tank full of these red and white shrimp. So if you like these kind of shrimp focused, where we just go over one type of shrimp and kind of cover everything you need to know about them, drop a like and let us know in the comments section what type of shrimp you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Have a good night.